You got me to not talk about it.
I got some problems with the Super Bowl, though, so I'm ready to talk about that when you are. All right, go. Good. Here's my first problem. My first problem is this right off the bat. After having 24 hours to digest it, watching the game a little bit while I'm eating dinner last night, just back on film, I'm kind of eating soup and watching it. I didn't do a deep dive study like I will today, but here would be my first thought. No way Cooper Kupp should have been MVP. I mean, absolutely no way. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's just insane. I can't get behind it.
He carried the team on his back when it mattered most.
I know. Well, see, I just don't see it that way. First off, Aaron Donald should have been the MVP. He dominated the second half, so that would be MVP number one. He dominated the second half. Even on the long touchdown pass to T. Higgins, Aaron Donald's busting through the line of scrimmage. The big sack to hold them to a field goal when they get the interception from Stafford. This play here, you think he's going to escape the pocket. Aaron Donald, here it is. You're thinking, they might score a touchdown and go up 2 scores. Nope, not Aaron Donald.
That's the moment.
Exactly.
That's the drive we were talking about. To me, that's where the game was saved.
Exactly. It's an MVP moment. It is, Mike. To your point, you said it right after the game, and you're right. Let alone all the other plays that went along in the game. So, first off, the NFL has to do something and get away. I don't know. Are they dialing in with one of those 2, 3?
Well, we'll talk about it. No, we'll talk
I know.
about it.
So that was my first one. Second off, Cooper Kupp shouldn't even have been the second choice in the MVP. Then it should come Matthew Stafford. So here's my next Matthew Stafford played really good football. He made a lot of unbelievable throws. First off, the best receiver on the field in the first half of the game was Odell Beckham Jr. All right, so then we get into that. Now, we see a guy in Matthew Stafford. Yes, he threw 2 interceptions. He made a number of big-time throws in the football game. People were not wide open in this game by any stretch of the imagination. He was on his, 3rd-string tight end. He had Cooper Kupp, that's it. No Odell Beckham Jr. He's out there trying to make it work with, Cooper Kupp, yes. Van Jefferson, good. Swarnick, okay. And a 3rd-string tight end. And then no run game to go along with it. And I think when you really look at it, and even the last drive, I was more impressed with the throws than I was with what Cooper Kupp did. The big play of the last drive, right, Mike? The little in-cut he hits to Cooper Kupp, and he catches it and runs and gets down there. I mean, I don't know if we got that play, guys.
The no look, the angle with the no look.
Exactly right. I mean,
unbelievable.
That's unbelievable. That was the throw. The throw was the unbelievable, the MVP moment. And I think what bothers me too, Mike, is just sitting on the plane yesterday morning, watching all the highlight shows and the sports shows and everything there. Can somebody give Matthew Stafford respect? I mean, really, it's disgusting. No, people act like he didn't have a play in the game, like he didn't do anything, like it wasn't the most clutch drive in history of the Super Bowl. This throw right here, I mean, that was all. The throw was amazing. There's only a few guys in football that can make that throw. That's Mahomes, Rodgers, Josh Allen. No look, laser. He wasn't really open. They got the completion. And guys, if you could go back to that 2 completions ago, they got the completion because of the great throw. So I'm bothered by that too, Mike. I really am. I mean, he played great football. They were undermanned. And it's because the narrative was already pre-existing with Stafford, no one wants to really give him respect for what he did in this game and how clutch he was and how tough he was.
The MVP voting.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. It should have been Aaron Donald. And
no
I wrote
doubt.
something yesterday that wasn't intended to be Aaron Donald versus Cooper Kupp. The voting process is deeply flawed. Deeply flawed. And I was asking questions of the league yesterday about this, and I got the distinct impression they weren't thrilled by the questions. And to that, I can only say, tough crap. Because sometimes you got to shine a light on things in order to make them better. Here's what they do. They have 16 hand-picked members of the media. Only 16 people have a vote on the MVP award. They won't tell me who they are. Well, more accurately, they told me some of them, but I'm not allowed to say who they are. Others, they didn't tell me, and there's no transparency, and that's bad because that, you know what that creates? That creates the impression the league picks the MVP and hides behind the notion that there are 16 voters, and no one can ever figure out whether or not the actual final MVP meshes with what the votes would have suggested. That's what you invite when you have no transparency. These aren't state secrets. The votes should be transparent. They should disclose all the voters and what the outcome of their vote was. And if the voters aren't comfortable with that, move on to someone who's willing to attach their name to their vote and make it known. Because, again, these aren't state secrets. For the individuals, these define legacies. When you have a Super Bowl MVP, that's forever.
No,
That's permanent.
No doubt. Right. I live with a guy.
That's so much more significant.
Right.
So much more significant than they're giving it credit for. So they have 16 media members. Then here's the other thing that bothers me. Well, many other things bother me about this. I'm
16 media members
stories.
is disturbing. You're right about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing they do. They want their votes before the end of the game because they want to be able to announce the MVP in the afterglow, the immediate afterglow of the game. Because the other leagues do that too. I don't give a crap what the other leagues do. I don't give. I'm happy to wait if they get it right. I'm happy to wait 24 hours if they get it right. Why rush to a bad decision?
What is
why
there to
do
rush
that?
for? It's 16
There's
votes.
no reason.
They can count to 16. It's not that hard. You can wait till the clock stops and go, okay, now everybody turn in their votes. Wait, 1, 2, 3. I mean, are they serious with that?
Yes.
That's ridiculous. That's stupid.
Yeah. And so what they do is they communicate with them during the game, like starting in the fourth quarter. Well, who's your vote? Who's your vote? Well, it's this. And then they'll get back to them and confirm it, so they say. But it's not like you vote for president at 2 in the afternoon, and then you go back to the polls at 4 in the afternoon, and then they call you at 7 and say, do you want to change your mind? It should be one vote at one time, at one moment, and it should be after the game. And maybe it shouldn't be right after the game. Maybe it should be the next day. What the hell? Own the news cycle the next day. Who's the MVP of the Super Bowl going to be?
Seriously.
Why in the hell does it have to be announced while the confetti's in the air? They could own Tuesday if they want to hold it until this morning. We find out today, after everyone's had a day to digest it and the votes were cast by 11 o'clock Eastern on Monday night, we now will announce the Super Bowl MVP. Why? I mean, this outdated thinking and the refusal to take a step back and ask, does this make sense? There are so many things, and this isn't just in the NFL, there's so many things in life where we just fall into a pattern and we do it a certain way and we never take a step back and say, is this the right way to do it? The other thing that bugs me, they give a voice to the fans. And I have no problem with that generally, but it ends up counting about 20% of the total, which is enough to swing it. And they open the voting at NFL.com. I mean, they're going for a traffic grab. They're going for clicks during the game. They're trying to get people, while they're watching the game, to go to NFL.com and vote. And they start the voting before the end of the game. So, like, do you really want a fan to vote on the MVP in the third quarter?
It's ridiculous.
That's the next thing I
Such
need to find
amateur
out
hour.
when it opens.
It's amateur hour.
That's a joke.
A guy
That's
who's
a
been
joke.
you got fans who are, eating dip and chicken wings and looking at their phone and talking to people.
Or maybe drunk.
And they're going to make a vote in the MVP and they're going to determine someone's, like you said, legacy life. Like and the NFL should be embarrassed by it. They really should.
And here's what it does. Whoever finishes first in the fan voting gets the equivalent of 2.5 votes. 2.5 votes for whoever finishes first, 1 full vote for whoever finishes second, and a half vote for who finishes third. So you got 4 votes that come out of the fan voting to dilute the 16 votes that come from the media members that they won't tell us who they are, and it's all a big secret. Isn't it? Let me tell you.
How is that even
there's
possible?
a lot of things that you do.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. That is an embarrassment. That dishonors the honor that the Super Bowl MVP should be.
Yeah, agreed. It's actually amazing when you hear it out loud.
I'll guarantee you this. Here's what else I'll tell you. They're in another show that's going to tell you that, because everybody wants to kiss the NFL's ass because we feel like that's what we have to do. We have to be in the good graces. Because I know by saying this, I'll never get the vote. I don't want the vote. I don't want it. I want to make the process better. Let somebody else have the vote. But they get pissed when people tell them that they got something that they should be doing better. They get pissed. Instead of fixing it, they get pissed about it. They get pissy about it, is a better way to put it. Because by the end of the conversation, I was starting to get them to come around on the issue, frankly, of the number of votes, that there needs to be more. They were at least starting to understand. But at one point, I got the passive-aggressive and other respected media members, and I said, hey, sorry if I'm not behaving like a respected media member, all right? Sorry. Sorry, I'm trying to make things better. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure that whoever gets the Super Bowl MVP award is the one who deserves it, and that it's a process that you can look at and say, nothing wrong with that. They're doing it the right way.
Yeah, no, I listen. It's embarrassing when you hear it out loud. You really go, "Oh my gosh, is that really how it's done?"
It's a joke.
It's a joke. First off, there's no excuse with any of it. The fans should have no voice in this process. Absolutely not. There should be more than 16 people voting.
And if they do, it should be after the game. If they do, it should be after the game. Why are they voting during the game?
I don't know.
Why are they voting before Cooper Kupp's touchdown?
Well, either
Why are they
way,
voting before Aaron Donald ends the game?
I don't get that either. At the very least, I'd just like to see the 16 people wait till the game's over. I'd like to see that happen. I would think that we could count to 16 by the time we have a 8-minute commercial break after the game and all this other things that we could go.
We gotta make money.
We gotta make money. We can count and look at this. Whoa, 10 for Kupp, 4 for Donald. Come on. That's such a stupid excuse and ridiculous. So that's the first thing that has to go, let alone with all of them. But they got to wait till the end of the game. First off, it's disturbing anyways. I don't know if even waiting for the end of the game, do you think that definitely would have swayed it to Aaron Donald's side? Did it take that last play, the tackle on the 3rd-and-1 run? Do you think that did it?
What's the rush?
I know.
What's the rush? Because look, here, you got to take time to reflect on the game. As it's happening,
yeah, it's hard.
As the game is happening, the reality is unfolding before our very eyes. We're trying to digest it while the next play is 40 seconds away.
Right.
And it's very difficult to take a broader view. You can't study the statistics. You can't go back and look at the film. You can't look at for example, you and I both said after the game that the key moment was the post-interception prevention by the Rams of a touchdown by the Bengals.
Right.
And when I went back and looked at the play-by-play, it's like, holy crap, Aaron Donald had 2 sacks on that drive.
I know.
He tried to force them into a field goal the first 4 downs, and that was capped with a Joe Burrow 18-yard scramble on 4th and 1. And then on 3rd and 3, that's when he bulled through the line, tackled Joe Burrow, and forced him to kick 3, and that dramatically changed the game.
No
Otherwise,
doubt.
it would have been 1st and goal inside the 10. And they score a touchdown, and it's 11 instead of 4, or is that right? No. No. 11 instead of 7.
Yes,
11 instead
exactly
of 7.
right.
That would have changed everything.
No doubt. 2-score football game. It was huge. The story of the game was the Rams' defense. The Rams, first off, both defenses won the game. I think that's the thing too. And I know we're in an era that it's just so offensive, one-sided. All we think about is offense. The Bengals, really offensively, it's like 3 plays was their offensive showing. It was 3 big passes, a handful of runs by Joe Mixon. Other than that, they couldn't do anything. They could not do anything on the offensive side of the ball. So the Rams defense won that battle. There's no doubt about it. The Bengals hung around, but Aaron Donald closed the door and ended the game. He was amazing in the second half. In a moment where they started to realize, wait, offense, we don't have Odell Beckham Jr. Things aren't going to be good here. We're struggling on that side of the ball. Defense, we have to step up and kind of win this game or keep our offense in it here for a while until they can put a drive together. They did that. And then the leader of the charge there was certainly Aaron Donald. There's so many plays that he affects throughout the game, especially in the second half. So that would be my big issue. I hate the lack of respect that people didn't really give Matthew Stafford. Certainly, you heard me voice that. I just want people to respect what we saw a little bit. Undermanned offense. He was tough. I know he had the interceptions, but damn, it was one of the clutchest, toughest drives to win a Super Bowl in the history of the game. So I just would like to hear people give him respect. I'd also like to raise my hand and go, wait, what were the Bengals doing a little bit with pass protection during the game? What the hell? Are we going to change it up a little bit, keep an extra guy in, chip the defense ends? They just acted like they were just going to go, well, we're not good, but we'll just roll the dice and hope we're good today. There were some things about the game as I unpacked it last night, sitting there eating my soup like I told you, where I just went, man, that was disappointing or underwhelming. Poor Joe Burrow. He was under pressure, and they didn't do a whole lot to help him. If it wasn't for him getting it out of his hand quick and making some crazy throws, he would have got sacked another handful of times.
Here's a way to think about MVP.
Yeah.
Who is the player?
Right.
That if you take him out of the game,
that's a good way to say it, Mike.
In the game,
right.
Is the most likely to keep the team from winning.
Right. Yeah. And you said it. That says
it's Donald.
It's Donald. 100%.
I saw a screenshot. of that last play. Now, first of all, Joe Burrow almost completed the pass to Samaje
It is
Perine.
amazing.
I don't know if you've noticed that.
I did,
He
yeah.
almost completed that pass.
I know.
Okay, there's Perine in the flat, and he breaks in for the ball as it comes out, and it wasn't. Maybe need to see a different angle, but that was closer than it should have been. Also, the screenshot I saw, T. Higgins had Jalen Ramsey on the ground and was running
Jamar
free
Chase,
down the
I
right
believe.
sideline.
Yeah,
one of them. Somebody had Jalen Ramsey on the ground again.
Yep, they did,
and was wide ass open, as Bruce Arians would say.
He ran down the right sideline, Jamar Chase, and their feet got tangled. And yes, the thing is, it was a 4th and 1. He did have one-on-one with Jamar Chase on the right side, but if we could show that last play again, guys, he plays the system on the left side. He plays the concept. See, so his eyes are all over the left, and then of course he never has really a chance to get back over to the right side of the field or see much else because Aaron Donald dominated. You know, that was the big thing, and I mean, that's an unbelievable move. First off, to be that wide as a 3 technique and then still win with the outside move, and there was an extra guy inside there. They got the center over there, and he still got around the corner and made the sack. I mean, there's really, that's like, out of defensive tackles, nobody can do that in the pass rush. It's him and Warren Sapp, maybe, in the history of the sport. Just a phenomenal player, Mike, but I like what you said there. To me, that buttons it up. Who's the one guy that if you took off the field, it would have affected the game the most or swayed the outcome? And to me, when you say that, I mean, it's silver platter. Oh, it's Aaron Donald. There's no doubt about it. He changed the game. He was, of course, the biggest person they had to worry about within their game plan and trying to figure out how to block him. And Raheem Morris did a great job, I thought, in the second half with getting in some defensive sets where the Bengals couldn't double team him every play finally. And that allowed him to get one-on-one. But I like how you kind of phrased that, Mike. I think that's the way to do it.
And so let's just say this. The PFT Super Bowl MVP award goes to Aaron Donald.
Definitely.
And our votes are more reliable because we've at least taken some time to think about it, reflect on it, talk about it, hash it out, sound it out. There was no proverbial gun to our heads to cast our ballots. Got to pick somebody, got to pick somebody,
Right.
got to pick somebody, got to
Right.
pick somebody.
Right.
No. The award means so much.
It's life-changing. It changed my family's life. I can tell you from experience. Yeah.
They go 5 weeks from the end of the regular season before they tell us who the regular season MVP is. 5 weeks.
Right.
I think we can wait 5 hours. I think we can wait 1 day.
I think you should
to name the Super Bowl MVP.
You should, when you get done with the show, I definitely think you should do some copy-paste, snarky comment, and put up the top of the screen the PFT Super Bowl MVP like you do your regular season awards. Put the Super Bowl MVP up there. Get this conversation going. Yeah, get this conversation going. I think we got to shine a light on this. This has to get changed. You know, it doesn't happen a lot, but there's been a handful of times where we've seen throughout the course of the NFL history where if you wait or just have a little time to digest, or at least just wait to the end of the football game, I think people's votes would have changed. I think this is one of those games, like you talked about. I think you believe, didn't you say even Shireen kind of told you after the game that she thinks some of the voting would have been swayed?
Yes, potentially.
Yes.
Don't
right.
out any of my sources. But yes,
well,
not that she's one of my sources.
Well, yeah, I just was saying that was just a thought from a respected media member.
The past.
Yes, right. It's just a respected media member. Right.
Yes. And she shares our view that it's all a little too rushed.
It's
I'm
too
not
rushed.
getting her in trouble or me in trouble. I'm more concerned about getting me in trouble.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.